Hey, it's Andrew Bocher with GY6 Vids, and in today's video, we got a full review of the PILUM T-1 from JTac Industries. Let's take a peek. GY6 Vids is mainly fan supported, and I want to say thank you so much to our fans who have jumped on board to help out for future content support. It means a whole lot to me, so I want to say a tip of the hat to you guys right out of the gate. But let's jump right into this rifle. This is the PILUM T-1 from JTac Industries. Now this thing is custom made down in Plant City, Florida. It's a fantastic rifle. These guys are not only a good group of people, but also they're putting in a lot of work, hands-on, building these things from the ground up. Obviously, they're taking the solid XLR chassis system and using that and building off of it. They're using a 22 to 26 inch barrel on their builds, and they have multiple different calibers that they can chamber this in. This one is actually chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor. I love this round. It's a whole lot of fun. There's a lot of different types of bullets out there right now for it, and it's becoming more prevalent. This setup right here is 22 inches overall length. I personally like that more compact feel to it. Plus, with this Griffin armament muzzle brake, it allows for an attachment for a suppressor through Griffin. My current Griffin suppressor is still in NFA lockup right now, waiting for it to clear, so a little upset about that. But when I do get that in, I will be using it on this platform, and I can't wait for it. The coating they do in-house as well, so if you want a different type of camo pattern, they can do that. Custom-made rifles are obviously not for everyone. There's a large group of people that do not care about custom rifles. They want one over the counter, they buy it at a local sports store, they're okay with that. But then there's the group of people that want to have extreme precision. They want to be able to really hone in their abilities and hit the smallest margin of error, and that's where custom rifles come in. If you want to see this thing get shot 1,000 yards out, you can click on the link on the screen right now or in the description of the video. Long range shooting is very monotonous, very methodical, and it takes some time, and it's not for everyone. Not everyone wants to watch that type of video, so I'm not going to put it in this video. I'm going to do a separate video that's released at the exact same time as this one, so if you want to watch that, link is in the description. Go check it out right now. Combined with the fact that they hand bed all their rifles themselves in-house, and they're using, like I said, the rock solid XLR chassis system, this thing is a tack driver downrange. They're using a very high quality .930 contour barrel, so you're gonna have a heavy barrel system here. It's gonna allow for better harmonics, which means as that barrel naturally flexes when you shoot, it's gonna minimize that greatly, so you're gonna have better proficiency with your accuracy downrange. Now moving back to the backside of the gun, obviously they do a lot of hand lapping inside the action of the firearm. Very few rifles that you get your hands on where you don't feel a single snagging point through the motion of the bolt throw. So nice. Detachable box magazine. So this bolt is DLC coated, and they have also included an oversized bolt handle so you can grab onto it and crank out rounds a lot faster with minimal effort on your part. Oh God. Moving to the back of the gun, so you do have an adjustable butt pad on here, so your recoil pad can go up or down according to where you're naturally sitting in your rifle when you get comfortable. You also have a cheek rest that adjusts up and down for better cheek weld on your rifle to make sure you're lined up with your optic properly, because that comes in handy. If you're not lined up properly, your shots aren't going to impact where you think they are, and that also comes down to your parallax and your optic as well. This beast of an optic that I'm using on top of this rifle today is the PST Gen 2 from Vortex Optics. This is the 5-25 by 50 first focal plane optic, which means as you zoom in and zoom out, your center stays the same. With a second focal plane optic, when you zoom in or zoom out, your point of impact shifts. I've attached a bubble level on here because bubble levels are huge for overall accuracy. On the front, we do have an Atlas bipod. This allows for adjustment and canting slightly to make sure you're level. And on the backside, we have an Atlas monopod that fits the bottom of the stock itself. The trigger they're installing on this rifle is a 3-pound single-stage Timney trigger, which allows for a very crisp break and a solid wall on the backside, which will mitigate your overall rifle disruption. And when you're shooting, it's important, because if your trigger's kind of wonky, or if there's a little bit of a lag at the end of the trigger pull, the gun moves ever so slightly and it throws your shot. So, and there's a solid wall. There's no over travel with this trigger, which is nice. That way you can control your trigger squeeze. It'll break, round goes off, and you pump the next round into the gun. They have a custom firing pin system in here, which allows for a locking time of down to 2.3 milliseconds, which means by the time you pull that trigger and that firing pin hits that primer on that bullet and that bullet goes out the barrel, which allows for less disruption once again in your rifle as you're shooting, which gives you more accuracy downrange. There's just a lot of things that go into a custom-made rifle, guys. You got to keep an eye on it. If you're going to be dropping some good money on a rifle, you want to make sure that the company is doing what they need to do to make that rifle proper. This is a system obviously put together with an XLR chassis system with a Timney trigger, so it is another company's making these parts. They're not making everything from the ground up, but they are installing these things to make the proper functioning unit to be sending rounds down range in a very precise way. So you're working yourself back from not only good stock, good cheek well and good positioning, but you also have a good grip, good palm swell, fantastic trigger with 3-pound single stage. You have that DLC straight fluted bolt, which is butter smooth, and you combine that with the 4140 chromoly hand lapped receiver going into the .930 contoured barrel for better harmonics, and then mounted on top of the hand bedding XLR chassis system. You're getting a very, very high-end rifle. Enough talking about all the details, but this is the PILUM T-1 from JTac Industries down in Florida. Fantastic setup. Let's start shooting some targets. Let's first see what the groups look like, and then move on from there, shooting some a little bit more dynamic targets. All right, 100 yards, ready to rock and roll. Let's take a poke down at that target. We have 5 pieces of duct tape, 4 in a little square, and then 1 in the middle. I'm gonna be shooting the grind hard ammunition, 6.5 Creedmoor custom ammunition, and I'll be shooting the Hornady Match ELDM 140 grain ammunition as well. They're both considered match grade, so let's see what happens. To form a group to see how well the rifle's doing, aim in the exact same spot every time and let those bullets appear in a group for you, and you measure it from there. I know I'm preaching to the choir for a lot of people, but for those of you who don't know how to do that, aim in the same spot. Don't try to chase the bullet. Aim in the same spot to form your group. So we're gonna do 5 shots on the upper right-hand corner of the center piece of duct tape for the grind hard ammunition, and then the upper left corner of the center piece of duct tape for the match grade ELDM Hornady ammunition. Okay, I'm hitting left in my point of aim, but I'm gonna keep the same holdover spot, upper right hand corner. Bad. Last one. Frickin' wind. Makes it a little tough. Let's go take a peek at that group real fast. Ooh. With the grind hard ammo impact points, there's 5 shots within a thumbnail size section of the target. I'll do exact measurements and put them on the screen for you guys in post-production. What you got to do is measure the farthest points of all the impacts. You can't just take your 2 favorite. You got to take all 5. If it's a 5-shot group, you got to take all 5. Measure the distant point of both the longest impact points, so the furthest spread, and then you take that and you have to subtract the overall diameter of the projectile, in this case 6.5 Creedmoor, and then it gives you your actual MOA group. I'm a little upset because I can tell that there's a vertical shift, and Granted, it could be on me, but I also think that that target is blowing like this just a little bit with the wind, and that could slightly shift you up or down. So we'll put a little asterisk on that, but still a phenomenal little group. Let's do the Hornady ammunition now. We're gonna aim for the upper left-hand corner of the duct tape. So I'm guessing the group's gonna form left of the duct tape because it looks like we're having about a, I don't know, quarter to half MOA shift. 5 more rounds. Aiming for the left corner of the center duct tape. Left upper corner. Right next to it. A little bit lower. Not bad. So with those groups, it's pretty impressive the fact that the Hornady ammunition is just outside of the size of a dime if you're going off the center point of each impact point, and then the group with the grind hard ammunition is staying within inside the size of a dime, which is incredible, even though I know there's a slight wind shift with that target wobbling back and forth. Not so much the effect on the bullet, but the fact that the target's moving just a little bit. So let's use the grind hard ammunition, 4 rounds. Let's go at a pretty quick pace, not super fast, but I'm gonna aim for the upper right piece of duct tape, upper left piece of duct tape, bottom left piece of duct tape, bottom right piece of duct tape, transition from shot to shot to shot, and see if I can impact that. So I'm gonna go over 2 clicks. That way my impacts shouldn't be so far to the left. All right, upper right first. There we go. Upper left. Bottom left. Pull that one a little bit. Bottom right. That's quick. Let's start shooting something a little bit more dynamic. Let's get this thing set up. Atlas bipod. Okay, so this is what we're gonna call 1 shot, 1 kill. So I've been trying to think of a situation with targets that when I review rifles, the rifle review isn't so boring. But I have 5 rounds, I'm loading them up in the mag. I have 1 shot each target. I can choose to re-engage that target if it's, say, spinning better than the rest of them. It gives me a better chance of getting it, or I can move to the next target. But I only get 5 rounds. So this will be a way of dictating, you know, this rifle did 5 out of 5 in the 1 shot, 1 kill test and move down the line. Obviously it comes to the shooter, the elements, the wind blowing these things and spinning them, the rifle itself. There's a lot of things that come into play. It's not scientific, but it is fun. And on days that are super windy, right now it's slightly breezy, so those targets are spinning. And if you catch them when they're bladed to you, your target is very thin and you have very little room for error. So you want to wait till it broadside faces you and see if I can get that shot. I have a high-speed camera down there. I'm only going to capture the last 3 if I can, if I hit them. It's a lot of work, guys. This stuff doesn't just happen. The targets don't set themselves up. I don't have Keebler elves or minions running around. I have to do it myself. I have to set it up. I'm running a ton of Ethernet cable down, running it down to generators and my high-speed camera, and then back to a computer system, which is right next to me right now, which I trigger when the shots get captured. So it's a lot of work. It doesn't just miraculously happen and then post-production to make it all look good and seamless and cinematic. I do that myself as well. And I want to take this moment to say thank you so much to our fan support. I'm only at 1 video a month right now because these videos cost a lot of money and time to do, and I can't sink my own ship just trying to make everyone happy. So the fan support is very necessary, and I want to say thank you so much to those who have jumped on board. If you like what you're seeing and you want to be part of that and help out for future videos to get more content out, link is in the description. Hope you enjoyed that quick little look about what goes into setting it all up. Anytime you see a long range shot or any type of high speed shot, this same setup has to happen. It's very tedious, very time consuming, very costly, but the shot and the end result, I hope you guys appreciate. If you like the slow-mo, let me know in the comment section right now and leave a like on the video. All right, one shot, one kill. We got 5 rounds in the mag. Let's see what this thing has. Going for the left target first. Waiting for him to spin. Come on. That wind. Got it. There's one. Moving on to the next one. Just next to it. Slow down, slow down. Come on. Oh! Did I get it? You know what? I may. Yep. I thought I missed, so I was like, gosh dang it. Put a round right through the center of it, I think. Yep. I only have my high speed on the last 3 targets, I think, so couldn't capture that one. The duct tape on the back side holding it in place kept it all together. It didn't even shatter. That's cool. Next one, number 3. There you are. Come on. Come on. Come on. Got it. That's so cool. This is a lot of fun. If you like this part of the test, tell me. Let me know. Number 4. Oh, wow, he's a wacky one. He's a wacky one. Come on, slow down. Slow down. He's all over the place. Got him. That's so cool. Yeah. The center, I saw it in my optic, hopefully I caught it on high speed. The center goes pop, pops the backside of the center out, and then the thing falls as a donut. Maybe we'll push this test out to 200, 300, 400, 500 down the line, but right now that takes a lot more Ethernet cable and more boosters to drive the signal this distance. I already have to use 2 boosters to get the signal from there to the computer here. All right, number 5. Where are you? There you go. Come on, 5 out of 5. Come on, slow down. Yeah. Yeah, just the center. This is a fantastic training situation to slow yourself down, to think before you shoot, and take your time for patience for that perfect shot. Especially for hunters, you got to take your time for that ideal shot because you sometimes only get one. And in this case, 1 shot, 1 kill. That's exactly the point of this test. So 5 out of 5 on this. Let's hang something a little bit more volatile down there and see what it looks like. Exploding Targets by Sonic Boom Targets. You actually can use discount code GY6VIDS. I believe they're giving you 25% off or 20% off. I'm almost certain that code's still working. You can try it out though, sonicboomtargets.com. These things are great. Let's hang this right there. I wonder if it'll split this paracord. We'll see. Oh yeah. Oh, it's hanging out of a gangster lean, so hopefully I'll get a good shot on it. Let's see. It's gonna get toasted by this shockwave, but a single clay pigeon right there to see what the heck happens to it. It'll fragment that way, not back towards me. See what that looks like. Okay, it's been a little bit of time, but I got it set up. Good to go. Got cows coming in to my left. Hope they don't get too close because they're about to get freaked out here in a second. They're far enough away they're not going to get hurt, but let's blast this thing and see if we can capture it in high speed. Safety off. Boom! The cows to my left are just taking off. They're not having any of that. Okay, so walking down to see the aftermath. The line survived. There's a little bit of a singe right about there, but toasted the clay pigeon, and the ground is just, man, it's shaved. Everything else has got green. So for the people who wanted to see this gun reviewed, this is the review video. If you want to see the 1,000-yard shot with this gun, click on the link popping up in the corner right now, or click the link in the description of this video and you'll go right to it. It's going to be released at the exact same time. Respect your guys' time. So if you wanted to just see the rifle and you wanted to see things get blown up, see some high speed, see some details, that's what this video is for. If you want to sit through and watch some long range shooting at 1,000 yards, click the link on the screen or in the description of this video, and I'll see you over there. Thank you so much to those who are jumping on board to be fan support to help make this whole crazy train run and make it possible. Much more coming. This is Andrew Bocher with GY6 Vids. I'll see you guys soon. Later.